Hello! Welcome to Little Smiles International School Basic 6 online tutorials. Today's tutorial is on mathematics, and it is taken from strand 1, numbers, sub-strand 7, fractions, and from indicator 1, which is comparing a mixture of fractions, that is common fractions, percentage, and decimal fraction. Comparing a mixture of fractions, common fraction, percentage, and decimal fraction. Now, from our RPK, we know that a fraction is part of a whole. But today we are going to compare 3 different fractions, which are common fraction, percentage, and decimal fraction. Now, how do we compare fractions? We compare fraction using 2 symbols. And in the olden days, the kids used to use their bent elbows as greater than, less than, greater than, less than. But from today, we are going to desist from using our elbows in comparing, because as soon as the figures are changed, kids get confused. For example, these are the 2 symbols that we have. Now, this symbol has 2 ends. One end is closed, the other end is open. Now, the closed end always faces the smaller number. Example, when we want to compare 5 and 10, the closed end faces the smaller number and the open end faces the bigger number. So even if the numbers are interchanged, and we have 10 and 5 here, we know that the open end always faces the bigger number and the closed end faces the smaller number. So today we are going to compare common fraction and a percentage. Now, let's look at examples of each of them. These are common fractions. Example of a common fraction are 1/2, 5/6, 1/10, etc. All these are known as common fractions. Now, let's look at percentages or a percentage fraction. Percentage fraction. Examples are 73%, 80%, 90%, etc. We also have decimal fractions. Decimal fractions. They are numbers with a decimal point found in between them. For instance, 0.56, 0.18, etc. As soon as we see numbers with decimals inside them, they are known as decimal fractions. But today's tutorial, we are going to break them into bits. Today we are going to compare a percentage fraction and a common fraction. And before we compare them, I want us to note something. This is a fraction. The top number is known as the numerator. The number below is known as denominator. And before we can compare a common fraction and a percentage, we either change percentage to common fraction or common fraction to percentage. Now, let's look at the example here. We are going to compare 73% and that of 3/4 or 3/4. So we are going to work them in two different ways. In the first example or in the first step, we are going to change all of them to common fractions. Common fractions. So step 1. Solution. We are going to change 73% to percentage. And we know that percentage is always over 100. So we are going to get 73% over 100. 73% is the same as 73 over 100 when we change it to common fraction. Now, the next common fraction here is 3/4. It is a common fraction already, but before you can compare two common fractions, the denominator has to be the same so that you can compare the two numerators. So you have to change 4 to 100. And how can we change 4 to 100 to be the same as that of the 73%? So we are going to get 3/4. Repeat your 3/4 on the back. Bring your multiplication sign. Ask yourself, what will I multiply for with to get 100? It is what? 25. So whatever you do to the denominator, do the same thing to the numerator. So it will be 3 times 25, 4 times 25, which is 75 over 100. Now, these two fractions, all of them have 100. So we can now compare 73 and 75. So 73 over 100 and 75 over 100. Now, since the denominators are now the same, we can compare the numerator. So 73 and 75, which one is bigger? It is 75. And as I said earlier, the open end faces the bigger number. So you put in your arrow. Now, we are not done yet. We are not comparing 73 over 100 and 75 over 100. The question was 73% and 3/4. So, we now know that 73 over 100 is the same as 73%. And 75 over 100 is the same as 3/4. So, we now know that 3/4, which is 75 over 100, is bigger than 73 over 100. So we put down our arrow, and this will be our answer. Now, so we have compared 73 and 3/4 by converting all of them to common fraction. Let's look at the other way around. We are going to convert all of them to percentage. Now, so or 73% is equal to 73% already. We have 73% in percentage already. As soon as you see this sign, it is already in a percentage form. So we are not going to change this again. We are not going to change 3/4 or 3/4 into percentage to enable us to compare them. Now let's change. 3/4 is equal to, we know every time we talk about percentage, we talk about 100. So we are going to multiply 3/4 over 4 times 100. 4 will go here 1, 4 will go into 100, 20. So 3 times 20 is equal to 4 will go into 100, 25. So 25 times 3 is 75. So now we have converted 3 over 4 to 75%. So we can now compare the two percentages. We have 73% and 75%. Now, 73 and 75, which one is bigger? It is 75. So the open end of the symbol faces the bigger number. So we put in this. Now, the question asked was between 73% and 3/4. And we know that 3/4 is the same as 75%. So therefore, 73% is less than 3/4. And this will be your final answer. So, children, below this tutorial, we will upload this question. Download and follow the procedure for working these examples. Do the same, put them in your clear bags, submit for marking when school reopens. Our next tutorial will be in 4 days' time. Bye-bye.